Thomas Meehan's Yma Dream. And, but I'm presumptuous enough to call it my Yma Dream. I've been telling it so much lately that I'm beginning to dream variations on it myself. In this dream, which I have had on nights like this, that is the night of the full moon, for the past 3 months, I'm giving a cocktail party in honor of Yma Sumac, the Peruvian singer. Well, this is strange at once, for while I have unbounded admiration for four-octave voices, I have never met Miss Sumac, and even in a dream it seems unlikely that I should be giving her a cocktail party. No matter, she and I are in the small living room of my apartment on Charles Street in Greenwich Village, and we're getting along famously. I've told her several of my Swedish dialect stories, and she has reciprocated by singing for me in Quechua and a medley of Andean folk songs. Other guests are expected momentarily. I have no idea, however, who any of them will be. Miss Sumac is wearing a blue ball gown, and I am in white tie and tails. Obviously, despite the somewhat unfashionable neighborhood and the cramped quarters of my apartment, this is to be a pretty swell affair. In any case, I've spread several dishes of Fritos about the room. And on what is normally my typing table, there's a bowl of hot glug. The doorbell rings. A guest. I go to the door, and there, to my astonished delight, is Ava Gardner. Oh, this is going to be a bit of all right, I think. "Jonathan, darling," she says, embracing me warmly, "how wonderful of you to have asked me." Well, in my waking hours, unfortunately, I've never met Miss Gardner. In my dream, though, my guests seem to know me rather intimately, while oddly, none of them seem to know each other. Apparently, it is their strong common affection for me that has brought them to Charles Street. For my part, although I immediately recognize each guest as he or she arrives, I have no memory of having met any of them, or for that matter, of having invited them to a party in my apartment. On with the dream, however. "Miss Ava Gardner," I say, "I'd like you to meet Miss Yma Sumac." "John," says Miss Sumac. "Delighted," counters Miss Gardner. "Oh, but Jonathan," says Miss Sumac, with an enchanting laugh which runs up the scale from E below middle C to C above high C. "Let us not on diabolic occasions be formal. Por favor, introduce each guest only by first name so that we may all quickly become, how shall I say, amigos." Typical Peruvian friendliness, I think, and reintroduce the two. "Ava, Yma," I say. We sit around for some time, sipping glug and munching Fritos. Things seem to be going well. The doorbell rings again. The second guest is a man, Abba Ivan, the former Israeli ambassador to the United Nations. Again, I make the introductions, and bowing to the wishes of the guest of honor, keep things on a first-name basis. "Abba Yma, Abba Ava," I say. I stifle a grin, but neither Miss Sumac nor my other two guests see anything amusing in the exchange. We chat. The bell again, and I am pleased to find Una O'Neill, Charlie Chaplin's wife, at the door. She's alone. I bring her into the room. "Una Yma, Una Ava, Una Abba," I say. We're standing in a circle now, smiling brightly but not talking much. I sense a slight strain, but the party is young and may yet come to life. But the bell again, it is another man, Ugo Betti, the Italian playwright. A bit hurriedly, I introduce him to the circle. "Ugo Yma, Ugo Ava, Ugo Una, Ugo Abba," I say. And Miss Sumac gives me an enigmatic glance that I try to interpret. Boredom, thirst. No, she looks almost irritated. Hastily, I replenish everyone's glass. For some reason, I begin to hope that no other guests have been invited. The doorbell rings once again, however, and, well, I open the door on two lovely actresses, Ona Munson and Ida Lupino. This gives me a happy inspiration for my introductions. "Ona and Ida," I say, "surely you know Yma and Ava. Ida, Ona, Una, Abba." Damn, it doesn't come out even. "Ida, Ona, Ugo," I finish lamely. I have scarcely given Miss Munson and Miss Lapino their first drinks when I am again summoned to the door. My guest stands stony-faced as I usher in the young Aga Khan. He is looking exceptionally well turned out in a dinner jacket with a plaid cummerbund. Smiling too cheerfully, I introduce him to the waiting groups. Folks, I say, using a word I've always detested. Here's Aga Khan, you know. But there is silence, and I must continue. Aga, Yma Eva Una Ona and Ida Abarugo. This is met with glacial looks from everyone, including Miss Gardner, whose earlier affection for me is now totally vanished. The Aga Khan and Mr. Eban, I notice, take an immediate dislike to one another, and I begin to feel an unmistakable pall descending over my party. When the doorbell rings this time, everybody turns and glares at the door. I open it and discover another pair, Ira Wolfert, the novelist, and Ilya Ehrenberg, the Russian novelist. Well, the latter, I know, is quite a man of the world, so I try a new approach. Ilya, I say, why don't you just introduce yourself and Ira? You know all these lovely people, don't you? Yeah, can't say that I do. Oh, all right, I say. Ilya Ira, here's Yma Eva Una. Ilya Ira, Ona Ida Alba Ugo Aga. I ask Miss Sumac to sing for us. She refuses. We continue with the glug and some hopelessly inane small talk. Mr. Eban and the Aga Khan stand at opposite sides of the room eyeing each other and begin to wish I'd never given the goddamn party. Ona Munson jostles Ugo Betty's elbow by accident, spilling his drink. I spring forward to put them at their ease, whipping a handkerchief from my pocket. Never mind, I cry, no damage done. Ugo, you go get yourself another drink. I'll just wipe this glug off the rug. The guest fixed me with narrowed eyes. At this moment, Eva Gabor, the Hungarian actress, sweeps through the door, which I have cleverly left open. Unaware of the way things are going, she embraces me and turns beaming to meet the others. Inevitably, I must make introductions. I start rapidly. Eva, meet Yma and Eva Nuna. But then I find that Miss Gabor is pausing to hug each guest in turn, so I am forced to make the remaining introductions separately. Eva Ona, Eva Ida, Eva Ugo, Eva Abba, Eva Ilya, Eva Ira, Eva Aga. This is one terrible party. All the men are bunched up, including Abba and Aga. We stand in a circle, glowering at one another. I can think of nothing to say. I feel oddly hemmed in like a man who's about to be stoned to death. Am I late? Asks the actress Uta Hagen gaily as she comes tripping into the room. No, no, I say gallantly, taking her arm and steering her at once towards the punch bowl away from the others. Please have the common decency to introduce your guests to one another, says Miss Sumac, and in the proper manner. Well, in the dream, Miss Yma Sumac seems to have some kind of hold over me, and I must do as she wishes. Okay, I snap hotly. Uda Yma, Uda Eva, Uda Una, Uda Ida, Uda Abba, Uda Ugo, Uda Ili, Uda Ira, Uda Aga, Uda Eva. I turn to see if this is placated Miss Sumac, but she coldly ignores me. I begin to hate her. Then I discover that the glug has run out, and I'm forced to offer my guest Ryan 7-Up. Again, the damn doorbell. I answer to face a trio of new guests. Anna Magnani, the Italian actress, Mata Hari, and Pia Lindstrom. Hey, everybody, I say, here they are, Anna Mata Pia. Well, in the hope that no further company will arrive, I silently close the door. The bell rings instantly, however, and I feel a chill run down my spine. I pretend not to hear it. Answer the door, Miss Sumac says peremptorily. Well, my circle of guests move menacingly toward me. With plummeting heart, I open the door. Standing before me in immaculate evening dress is a sturdy, distinguished-looking man. He is the Polish concert pianist Mieczysław Horosowski. Oh, come in, Mieczysław, I cry with tears in my eyes. I've never been so glad to see anybody in my whole life. And here always my dream ends.